Well, it's time to ban some more books. The woke are looking for any children's books that don't tick the critical theory intersectionality boxes of race, ethnicity, gender, LGBTQ identity, or some other minority identity. And the list of naughty, naughty books is growing. Now, last time we talked about banned books, it was a little tongue-in-cheek. We identified possible naughty books, such as this one, Little Women, a classic story that would be banned for implying women are little or that women exist in any way. I mean, how do you define woman? And this book, a US school teacher was fired for reading this New Zealand book, I Need a New Butt, to a group of 6 and 7-year-olds. The book I Need a New Butt, but titled in New Zealand I Need a New Bum by Dawn McMillan, who is a prolific author of children's books, is about a boy who sets out to find a new bottom after seeing a crack in his buttocks, which makes him afraid it is broken. And this shocking one, Are You My Mother? Dr. Seuss series about a baby bird trying to find his mother. Should that be Are You My Pregnant Person, or Are You My Progenitor A? Are you my parent or caregiver, at least? And now Dr. Seuss books have been targeted. And Dr. Seuss's very first book, I've got it here, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street. The book was selected to be pulled from publication because it has outdated portrayals of Asian people. These include descriptions of a character described as Chinese as having slanted eyes, eating bowls of rice, and wearing comical hats. And it also captions an illustration of a man as a Chinese man who eats sticks, or with sticks, very naughty, very culturally inappropriate. And there's also this one on Beyond Zebra. Specifically, on one page, a man of no delineated race, and thus we have to declare him as white, I assume, is riding a kind of a camel and has a moustache, and the man has billowy pantaloons we would associate with an Arab person. But this is a stereotype. Orientalism, that's how you say it. They call it. To me, well, it just looks goofy. So in the latest woke world, an Australian researcher has warned that classic books, including The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, you'll notice I have all these books. I've specifically bought them because I think possibly they're going to become collector's items. The Very Hungry Caterpillar and Harry Maclary could be detrimental for kids. Dr. Helen Adam from Edith Cowan University School of Education in Australia has flagged 10 classic children's books that fail to showcase diverse characters. She deems them too old, too stale, and reflective of a white, middle-class, and monoculture Australia. Funny though, I noticed in Harry Maclary, there's actually a number of non-white dogs in the Harry Maclary book. She says, while classic books arguably have a place within the classroom, it is essential that this takes place alongside more contemporary texts that better represent the diversity of society. And they've been flagged for reflecting outdated viewpoints and lifestyles. She says that the potential impact on children could be detrimental to equitable educational and social outcomes, as it could raise some significant concerns. When children's own worlds are invisible in the books shared with them, emotions including doubt, anxiety, or even fear can result in impact on their well-being. Yes, apparently reading, Harry Maclary could be damaging to your children. And last year, another classic book, The Tiger Who Came for Tea, which I also have and which I've also naughtily read to my own children, was slammed by a domestic violence campaigner. And the fantastically illustrated book, it's a very funny one, tells the story of an uninvited male tiger who turns up on a family's doorstep and joins a girl and her mum for tea. And the rude cat scoffs all of their food and drink, leaving the cupboards and fridge bare. But the co-director of a charity working to end men's violence against women claims the book is old-fashioned in its portrayal of women. She told BBC Radio Scotland, "We know that gender stereotypes are harmful and they reinforce gender inequality, and that gender inequality is the cause of violence against women and girls, such as domestic abuse, rape, and sexual harassment." Yep, apparently you can get all that from this particular book. She questioned why the tiger was not female or gender neutral. Well, that would be really woke. Although not sure that the animal kingdom would go along with that one though. And also slammed the stereotypical ending where the dad returns from work and saves the day by taking his family out to dinner. Oh, how bigoted. I mean, why is a man working? And why is the woman at home being a mother? Well, here's another question. What is a woman? Interestingly, I've read this book to my kids a number of times when they were growing up. My wife's mother is Nuayan, so my children are part Nuayan, and they weren't sitting there for some reason saying, "Hey, Dad, where's the Nuayan character so I feel more part of the story?" No, they just enjoyed the story. But here's some interesting background on the author of this book, The Tiger Who Came to Tea, Judith Kerr. Born in 1923, a child of the pre-war German intelligentsia, her family was forced to flee to Prague with her parents when Adolf Hitler came to power. And the family moved to London 13 years later. Kerr got married in 1954, and the couple bought a house in Barnes in West London, which featured in many of her subsequent books. And her most famous book about this tiger came about when she was a full-time mum of her two small kids. And she said it got really boring. We'd go for a walk and have tea, and that was it really. And we wish someone would come. So I thought, well, why not have a tiger come? And so she began the story to her daughter, telling the story to her daughter. And then when she was in her mid-40s and her kids were at school, she drew the pictures to match the text by stripping away any unnecessary background so that the tiger and family members, along with a few pieces of furniture, stood out from the blank white page. And it was a bestseller. But according to the new wokeism, apparently the gender inequality in the book could lead to domestic abuse, rape, and sexual harassment. Yeah, right. Now, Sue Reed is a board member of Family First and has been a bookseller for 25 years, and she's written a great article on this issue, which is on our website. But let me close with this quote from her opinion piece. And she says, the disengaged reader didn't connect with the book only because they saw their gender or life circumstance, colour or creed. They loved the book for its style and pace, the terrain or some resilient character. I think in the tiger one, it was the tiger coming to tea. My kids love that concept. Sue goes on, elements of a novel that you could easily overlook. I have spent a career matching the right book for the right person, event or need. We need all forms of variety and not just reduce literature to some sanitized PC version of what we think needs reflecting. It is dire to dismiss the classics or the books we loved as children and those our parents passed on to us. That is a true valued gem within our family cycles. Who cares really what an academic has to say? I say read and read all the more and strengthen the family bonds over shared reading times. Ha! Well said, Sue. Love the old books, love the new books, just love reading to your children.